Hello and welcome. It has been a while, and I acknowledge that, and I thank you all for being here. Anyway, I have had there's a couple of reasons, I guess, for that. One, I've been busy, life has been lifing, and when I get busy, I tend to unintentionally close myself off to being a channel. I don't do it out of, it's not something that I intend to do. It's almost like I realize it's happening after the fact. And I think it's a way of protecting my energy, but it is something that I'm working through. How do I, keep things open, even if life is lifing, as they say. But also, I've gotten a couple of messages and have tried to record, and multiple times I've had technical issues. I've myself thought I pressed the record button and didn't. The software that I use to record just won't open. So I'm using something else today. So there's just been like some bizarre things that even though I thought I had something to say, I didn't. Or it was just the hurdles felt too much in those moments. A couple of weeks ago, I recorded this like 20-minute, sorry, I thought I recorded this 20-minute message and I never hit the record button. And I ran out of time. I had to move on to my next thing. And so that never got out. And I actually don't even remember what it was about, which feels kind of crazy. So it has been a while, and it was one of those, really the only thing I heard was like, get out your microphone. Get out your microphone. You have something to say today. And so I've gotten out my microphone. I have sorted through my own tech issues and have figured out a way to record. I've confirmed I am recording. And I am going to see what comes through with you all on the call. I don't know which version of my channeling you all appreciate, whether it is the more I get a message, I sit with it, I write, I pull cards, and then I present it, or these more off the cuff, something is going to come through, but I almost need to be in that state where I am speaking to let it all come out. So that is where we are today. Thank you for being with me. I do think that first part, even though it felt like a little me explaining myself, is actually part of the message. I think there is this, I'm hearing that things, like, I'm just hearing obstacles, the word obstacles. You are all, there's a collective here that are experiencing obstacles or things not taking off when you thought they were, or just time not reacting the way you want it to, or behaving the way you want it to, or things not being as easy or as ready as you hoped, or you've been on a path for a really long time and you're like, okay, by now, I'm trusting the universe, but I really expected more by now. And Spirit says, I know. Spirit says, I know. Um, yeah, just I know. I'm like, but Spirit just says I know. So this is confirmation that whatever you're feeling, whatever has been getting in the way, is not in your head. It's like I almost see like someone putting their hand on their heart and like nodding, like I know, like rubbing your back. It's okay, I know. Yeah, so I think that these obstacles or these, things that are coming up, they're not new perhaps, but this is the first time, or maybe there is a pattern recently where they have slowed you down, right? I think, and again, the way we opened with, it's been a while, I've sort of had to pause and give up and whatever in those moments. I think that's happening to some of this collective here, where the obstacles are finally actually starting to get in the way, and they're making you question whether or not you are actually on the right path, or whether it is time to like throw in the proverbial tower. I can't answer that for you. Spirit can't answer that for you, but there is this message here of like, they are just obstacles and they are overcomable. If that's something you still want to do, I'm hearing that it's almost like there is a decision, either to be made or to listen into, or just some discernment needed of like, this stuff is hard, right? And maybe it will be hard for an undetermined amount of time. I unfortunately don't have visibility into when. I wish I did. That would make me really powerful as a reader. But there's this like, I'm hearing trust. And then I'm hearing you all say, yeah, I trust. Like, I'm trusting, but nothing's happening. Or I'm trusting, but I have to climb mountains that I wasn't expecting to have to climb. And Spirit saying, you can always turn around, but if you keep going forward, there is a peak. Like, the mountains have peaks, and they're available to you to find and climb over and get to the next phase. So, but it's like you're climbing Mount Everest or Denali, and it is so cloudy. And from the ground, maybe people looking up can't even see you on the mountain. You're so high up, but you also can't see the peak because of how foggy it is, because of how high up you are. And you don't have a map, let's say. And you're like, I know that this mountain has a top. I don't know where it is. And I don't know if I'm willing to sit here and figure it out and sit here and just like keep climbing and keep going. That and it's not a test. This isn't a test, but it is an acknowledgement that like, timing here is divine. Everything that's being presented and put in your way is for a reason, right? If I think back to the way I started this, like, for whatever reason, that message didn't need to come out. I don't remember what it was about. So maybe it was something for me. Maybe I needed to go through those obstacles and then understanding whether or not I would return or when I would return to something like this. So yeah, there's that message. There's also this message about like personal prioritization, and that right now a lot of this collective is prioritizing very logically, and that's great. Right? This collective is prioritizing like the work, the stuff that pays the bills, the home, certain relationships, like maybe your own personal physical health. And there are certain parts of whatever path you are on that might take second place or third place. And again, that's okay, right? I think we all understand what we need to prioritize in a given moment. But it is just ask, there's this like ask that you look at how you're prioritizing. I think I can use an example of, I have like a lot of work, paid stuff to do today. And I would love to have just knocked it out now. But this came through and I was like, I have to just record it. I have to just go ahead and get it out. And then the paid stuff I'm going to get it done, right? I'm seeing some folks who have some sort of like creative pursuit that are not prioritizing it, and they're prioritizing other stuff, and then like the creative stuff gets done. And there's this message here that like, you have built really good processes around the stuff that quote has to get done, the stuff that pays you, the stuff that keeps your house moving, whatever else it may be. That stuff's gonna get done. So it is okay to prioritize the stuff that feels maybe more fulfilling but less more fulfilling, but less pressing in the quote, physical world. And it does feel like this balance of like prioritizing the physical world versus your inner spirit. Yeah. And so, I mean, for example, right, I knew that if I did not record this right now, I would not have recorded it. But the work that I have to do that pays my bills is going to get done. And so I'm in this moment, it was all about me. Okay, I'm going to put this out and then I'm going to do that. Whereas if it were reverse, you do the thing you have to do. And then 5 hours, 6 hours later, it's like, I don't really want to do that right now. I'm tired. I'm just going to consume whatever thing I consume, media, social, television, podcasts, YouTube. And so it's almost like asking you to put that, I don't want to say best foot forward, although that is the phrase that came to me, but it's time to like put yourself first because you have a really good handle on all the other stuff. And that should be a confirmation. Is that it? That actually might be it. Short today. I'm going to take one moment to close my eyes and listen and feel and see if anything comes through. I just heard no. I heard trust the process and trust the ending. I am to trust that this is the ending. You are to trust the process. You are to trust your own ending. Something may be ending. You may need to end something in order to allow something else to come in. That is for you to discern and decide. I cannot tell you to end big chapters of your life, right? But there is like when one door closes, something may have ended for you. I'm hearing like a layoff. I'm hearing somebody is moving. Somebody important to you has moved. I'm hearing routine, like not just like stick to routines, but reevaluate your routines and see if there's a way to get the stuff that we are talking about infused into your routines. And so it's not an afterthought. And so it's every day before I start whatever thing I have to do, before the laundry goes in or whatever, I do my thing. Or every day I do the dishes and then I do my passion thing and whatever. Or it does not have to be that restrictive. I'm spirit saying like it does. So for some people, it will look like that. For others, it will not. But just being mindful of when and what you're doing and when you're doing it and making sure your cups are getting filled and being realistic about when certain things are most likely to get done and know that the other stuff will always be there. I'm hearing like there's a house project that is on someone's mind very heavily, like cleaning a closet, cleaning a basement, going through an attic or a storage unit, just one of those like always present, never pressing tasks, and you've made it feel very pressing. And I'm hearing like it is time to start examining it, but don't let it weigh on you. So if it is, some sort of something, there's like, it's something like closet based, something storagey where like it's easy to close the door. Can you pull out one box into your space? Can you pull out a bag or some piece of it to make it feel more manageable? And like you can just let it sit there. But it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to derail, and it's not more important than whatever else you're trying to do. I'm getting, it's very vague. I'm actually like, I think spirit's intentionally not giving me examples of what that could be because some people it's creative, for others it's yeah, actually I'm not seeing anything, so I'm gonna not try to force an example and instead trust that if you're meant to hear it, you will, and you will know. It'll click for you. one more moment because I thought that was the end and then more came out. Spirit goes, okay, you can end it. Okay. So I will end it. Thank you all for being here. I hope everyone is like figuring it out. I don't have any broad strokes. Just, I hope we're all getting what we need. I hope we're all getting what we want in a given day. Confirmation honk. And that we're being kind to ourselves. I'm including myself in this outro. I think I likely need to hear it. Be kind to ourselves and others and to this planet and our energy. And stop. Spirit just said, stop looking at the clock. All right. I'm going to end there. I hope you all have a good one, and maybe I'll see you soon.